What's up everyone, it's Cannan and welcome to a new video, and I'm actually talking about a gaming series that I've not talked about in a long time. I've actually been avoiding for the longest time, and that is Natsume's version of the Harvest Moon series. Now, if you're not up to date, Harvest Moon was, of course, the game that a lot of us fans of farming sims grew up with back in the day. My first one was Harvest Moon Back to Nature on the PlayStation 1, and then from there I played every single new one. Harvest Moon Save the Homeland on the PS2, Harvest Moon and a Wonderful Life on the GameCube, and so on and so on, and even went back and played older ones like Harvest Moon 64. But after what I believe was Harvest Moon A New Beginning on the 3DS, something happened. Marvelous, the developer of Harvest Moon, decided to part ways with Natsume, who were really just the ones that did the English translations for the games, even though they slapped their logo on the front of the game and Marvelous barely got a mention except on the back of the case, and then of course a splash screen on when the games were starting up. But they decided to part ways with Natsume. They went with Xseed Games instead, and Natsume kept the name Harvest Moon, where the Harvest Moon that we all grew up with became Story of Seasons. And ever since then, Natsume has tried their best to claim they are the creators of Harvest Moon, when really every game that they have come out with, which the last one was Harvest Moon One World, have been disasters. Now, to tell you the truth, I had no idea this new game, Harvest Moon The Winds of Anthos, I believe how it's pronounced, I had no idea this game even existed. I found out about it yesterday when after the Marvelous Showcase, where 2 new Story of Seasons games were announced and 2 new Rune Factories were announced. I have reactions to both announcements, so please go watch those. So of course I heard about this game and decided to look into it, and I must say, could Natsume finally be on the way up with Harvest Moon, because this game, unlike the past ones, actually looks promising. Now, even though I do not agree with Natsume's ways of conducting business, I do not like it that they are trying to claim they are the original creators of Harvest Moon and how they have done that over and over now. I still would like to see this version of Harvest Moon prosper, because at the end of the day, I'm a farming sim fan. I want them to do well, because that means more games to play, but the games have to be at a certain quality. Now, one thing that definitely grabbed me about this one is that it looks like Natsume has maybe learned their lesson a little bit on certain things. And what I'm going to start with is an article reading about the game and some of the features, and then I'm going to show off some screenshots, even though as of the recording of this video, we do not have a trailer for this game, even though there's a release date as well. Now, before I move on, of course, please, if you enjoy our content, please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, click that like button, leave a comment. So now let's get to the article. This is from Gematsu. Harvest Moon The Winds of Anthos launches September 26. Already a conflicting message there, because on Amazon it claims that the game comes out September 17th. So, I don't know. Pre-orders now available and limited edition announced. Yeah, that limited edition, you get the game, you get the soundtrack, you get a cow plushie, and you get what looks like some stickers for 85 bucks. Yeah, I don't know about that. Anyway, Harvest Moon The Winds of Anthos will launch for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, it just says Xbox Series, so I guess it means X and S, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC via Steam on September 26th. Now, of course, this article is from May 23rd, 2023, so a couple of days before the showcase. Someone even mentioned that it's funny how whenever a new Story of Seasons or a new Harvest Moon is announced, another one seems to follow. It's kind of, I get what it is. Like, it's either Natsume or Marvelous trying to one-up each other. But pre-orders are now available on Amazon and Natsume.com. You can also get the limited edition off of NIS America, which it says right here, $84.99, which includes a copy of the game, the original soundtrack. Here's what gets interesting. A Harvest Moon 25th anniversary Sleepy Time cow plush. Oh, it's lapel pins. Okay, so I thought they looked like stickers, but they're pins, and a collector's box for $85. Yeah, Harvest Moon 25th anniversary. Story of Seasons is celebrating its 25th anniversary. Natsume's version of Harvest Moon has only been around since the early 2010s, I think. So yeah, you guys are about maybe a little over 10 years old. You're not 25 years old. So yeah, see, that's my one problem with Natsume in this whole thing. So this is the announcement. We are excited to announce the September launch for Harvest Moon, the Winds of Anthos, and to reveal the pre-order and limited edition details for the game. Yeah, announce the pre-orders, but don't show us a trailer. Fans are sure to enjoy all the fun items that are included in the new Harvest Moon game when they get their hands on this September. So here is a brief overview of the game. The land of Anthos was a peaceful and harmonious land watched over by the Harvest Goddess and the Harvest Sprites, who protected the inhabitants of Anthos from natural disasters such as storms, earthquakes, and the like. However, one day many years ago, Anthos experienced a severe volcanic eruption that threatened life on Anthos itself, and the Harvest Goddess and Harvest Sprites had to use all of their remaining power to keep the people and animals of Anthos safe. This left the different villages across the land blocked off from each other. Some unfortunate souls even got trapped outside their villages and were unable to return. Believing that the separated villages and people would one day be reconnected, the Harvest Goddess sent out a bottle with a letter and a magic key, then fell into a deep sleep. So kind of almost the same story usually with these Harvest Moon games. Reawaken, the Harvest Goddess. Now, 10 years later, you have found the SOS the Harvest Goddess sent to the world in the form of a message in a bottle with the help of your wacky inventor friend Doc Jr. and many others. It'll be up to you to revive the Harvest Goddess and the Harvest Sprites, as well as reconnect all the villages of Anthos with each other. Farm all around Anthos using Doc's new and improved Expando farm. Easily move from place to place and farm everywhere from snowy mountains to beautiful beaches. Now, already kind of a red flag. Even though I didn't play One World, I know of how it was used, and it had you like running from place to place. I really hope they're not attempting that again. I think I know what they're going for with it, but it already sounds like way too much. Like it's going to get to the point where you're going to have to tend to all these different farms and not have much time to do anything else. Now, here are the key features, and here is where things get a little interesting. Keep and raise different kinds of cows, chickens, and sheep in your barn. Find even more exotic animals to keep out in the wilds of Anthos. So we're going to get your stereotypical animals plus some exotic ones. Harvest Moon has kind of been doing that, especially since Animal Parade. Story of Seasons has been doing that for a while. Collect seeds from harvest wisps hidden all over Anthos. Some of the rare ones only come out at certain times, so keep an eye out for them. Okay, so we're going to have something to collect, kind of like how Magical Melody had music notes, Sunshine Islands had sunstones, etc. Explore the wide world of Anthos on foot or on mount. Unique and unusual mounts are available as well. So yeah, you will have more than just a horse. Fast travel around the world using the Harvest Goddess's warp statues. Take pictures, selfies, and more. And the other feature that is mentioned is the one that is very interesting. I was actually very interested to read. Woo 5 different bachelors and 5 different bachelorettes. Marry whoever your heart desires. Hallelujah. That is one thing that Natsume has pretty much been refusing to do ever since they took over the Harvest Moon name, and that is include same-sex marriage in their games. Story of Seasons has been doing it. Technically, they kind of did it in more Friends of Mineral Town. They had the best friends ceremony and all that, but starting with the Friends of Mineral Town remake, with Pioneers of Olive Town, and even with Rune Factory 5, and once again with the A Wonderful Life remake coming out next month, they have been full on with same-sex marriage. And Natsume did say that the reason why One World didn't have same-sex marriage was because of the pandemic, but they did say that the next game would definitely have it, and it seems like, yeah, Harvest Moon, the Winds of Anthos will have same-sex marriage. And I believe it was even confirmed on Natsume's Facebook page, where someone asked, will you finally include same-sex marriage? And they said yes. So that is where we're at right now with that. So I have to admit, I'm probably going to give this game a little bit of a chance. And another reason because that is not just because of same-sex marriage, but because of the screenshots we have seen so far. So the first one I'm showing you here is, of course, one on a farm with the female farmer on a horse. Very, very bright. I actually like how colorful the vegetables are, the produce is. Still very... You can tell this is probably still a fairly early version of the game, but Natsume kind of likes to keep their games very bright and colorful, and sometimes a lot of ways simple looking. But I have to admit, I think it looks 10 times better than One World already, so that's a good sign. Then we have another picture on which looks like maybe another farm. Looks like you have a pet owl. And another thing I noticed was in the upper left corner is looks like a star system. So maybe each village you have to improve and its star rating will go up. That's what I'm guessing what that is. So yeah, very, very interesting. Looks like this picture is in like late day. And then we have one at night, which at first, when I first saw this, I thought it looked kind of creepy. But it's actually actually kind of a pretty setting. I know it does look kind of, I don't want to say bland, but it does look kind of, I don't know. It feels like almost something's missing. But like I said, I'm not going to judge harshly right now. Then we have this picture, which I believe that is a volcano, and that's probably the volcano that erupted that threatened Anthos all those years ago. So yeah, is the volcano going to be constantly looming in the background? Is that going to be part of the story? But once again, I actually think this looks pretty okay. It looks way better than World, way better than any of their past games. Definitely better than Light of Hope. Light of Hope was a train wreck. This next one is the female protagonist once again on a bridge. This looks like it's more of an autumn-like time, and no fishing rod, so maybe you can't fish off the bridge. I don't know. But next we have what looks to be inside a house. I'm guessing this is the farmhouse, like your house that you'll be living in. Looks like we got a pet kitty in this picture. I'm guessing this is like maybe the way your house looks at the beginning of the game, maybe. So very bland, very normal right now, but you know, you can decorate usually in these games. So yeah, I'm sure you can make it look a little bit more like a home. This next one looks like it takes place inside of a shop. Looks like either that is the shopkeep's pet owl, which there's a feeding bowl over there, so I'm guessing so. So this might be an animal shop, or maybe an animal produce shop, like where you can buy feed and all that for your animals. Now these next set of pictures are the character talking with NPCs. So as you can see, they're still sticking with like the visual novel like look of the characters actually being on screen when they talk. This is Doc Jr., which I think I've seen this character before, or a character that looks like them from One World. And if you notice, if you look real closely, right by Doc Jr.'s name, there is a musical note. It looks like a musical note. I think that's what that is. And so this means, of course, Doc Jr. is not a marriage candidate. They are just a normal villager that you can befriend. Next picture, we have what looks like the Harvest Goddess in this game, though it says Tiny Harvest Goddess, so I'm wondering if until the Harvest Goddess returns to full power, if she starts out small and then, you know, maybe grows. So yeah, going with the default female character here, I'm sure, like, I do know there's another screenshot where the character has blonde hair, but I'm sure there'll be other hairstyles and stuff like that that you can choose from. Hopefully we can change our clothes, because I have read that other of Natsume's Harvest Moon games have not really allowed you to change clothes apparently, so we'll see. Now in this picture, the main character has darker brown hair, and this looks to be our first look at our first bachelor, because next to his name is what looks like a flower. So I'm going to guess that marriage candidates will have flowers next to their names. I'm guessing the more closer you get, maybe the flower will bloom more, but looks like this character's name is Wesley, and looks like he is pretty much the leader of the village, of this particular village. Don't know if they'll actually call him like the mayor, because that's usually the leader of the villages in these games, is like the mayor character. But yeah, our first bachelor. Don't know anything about him yet. You all know that when we actually get all the bachelors and bachelorettes announced and we know more about them, I will do a separate video on that. And now here it looks like we have our look at our first bachelorette. Once again, the main character has blonde hair in this one. A lot of people have already complained about the lifeless doll eyes. I can overlook that. I do think it has a really cute anime look to it, but this character looks like her name is Judy. She has what looks like to be pretty, you know, long, wild red hair, green eyes. She kind of almost reminds me of Pyrrha a little bit from Ruby, but so yeah, this is our first bachelorette, Judy. Next is another bachelorette, because she has a flower next to her name, and her name is Vivi. I guess her parents were fans of Final Fantasy IX. I don't know what else to say, but she's cute. I like the short brown hair, very, very emerald-looking green eyes. So that's cute. And then we finally have, I believe this is the last picture I have, is a third bachelorette named Aliani. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, I'm sorry. But I actually like her as well. She's kind of almost got a mature look to her in a way. But so yeah, this is our first look at what we believe is some of the bachelorettes and one bachelor, at least. If there was another screenshot with a bachelor, I didn't see it. There's a few others out there, like taking care of cows, showing more of the farming. And I gotta say, Natsume may actually be onto something here. They may actually be on the verge of making a good farming game. Like I said, even though I don't agree with how Natsume is handling business with this, with their version of Harvest Moon, I still want them to do well, because that's more farming games for us, the fans. Now, of course, this game is definitely going to come out probably way before the next two Story of Seasons games and the two next Rune Factory games. We didn't see much of anything like on screen for the two Story of Seasons games. We at least saw a good bit of Rune Factory Project Dragon, so I have a feeling that game will come out way before some of the others. This game comes out in September, but we also have Story of Seasons, A Wonderful Life remake coming out in June. So there's no shortage of farming games whatsoever. Me and Jess went ahead and pre-ordered this because I want to give it a chance. Jess got herself a version because she really wants that cow plushie, and I gotta admit it is kind of cute. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the video today, guys. Let me know what you think. Is Natsume onto something here? Have they finally found a formula to make a really good Harvest Moon game? Let me know in the comments. And as always, guys, this is Canaan. Me and Jess love you all very, very much. Stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next one. See ya.